let me first start with the Robert Brooks, because to me that's the most important thing. It takes priority as far as I'm concerned. Why it's not taking priority for other people, I'm not really sure. Now, Brianna Joy Gray, though, however, Bad Faith Podcast, my black sister with her own platform now after leaving or being fired from whatever it was from her previous gig. You know, she's out there doing her thing, and she's speaking on the relevant topics, you know, and doing all the thing, the trending things, the most impactful things that are happening, just like my brother Mark Lamont Hill with Night School, and talking about all the relevant things like Drake and sports scandals at Fox News and all of these things, right? And Gaza situation, which obviously the Gaza situation is something we should continue to talk about and put in the forefront of our minds as well. We should discuss these things. But somehow, my brothers and sisters, the Robert Brooks case, which, let me update you, still nothing, no arrest, no charges filed against any one of these animals, barbarians who beat a man to death. I'm going to actually, I really want to attempt to not say black man. And that's not from a position of trying to minimize the fact that he's a brother and he's a black man, and we have this ongoing problem in our country. We've had it since we've been dragged here in chains and well afterwards. I don't want to minimize the fact that 13, 14 animal white people beat a black man to death. My intention is to say, even if we cut the race out of it, aren't we all human beings? We're not all human beings, right? We should be looking at this and examining this as, wow, did you guys see that? We just watched 14 correction officers beat and kill a man. He could have been white. He could have been whatever race you want to pick, whatever religion you want to pick. He could have been a Jewish man, okay, wearing a yarmulke. It could have been a Muslim man, okay? It could have been an African man, could have been an Asian man, could have been whatever race, religion, creed, could have been a tatted up kind of rock and roll dude, could have been anything, could have been a radical. Well, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference what type of criminal he was, or whether or not he was a good guy or a bad guy, or whether he deserved it or didn't deserve it, because as we know, you don't deserve that. There is no death penalty. He's serving his time for what he did, and the man was killed. So let's leave it at a human being was brutally beaten on camera, and for some reason this is not making enough news. No one seems to care. No one seems to want to make this a point on their programming, on their shows, with all their hundreds of thousands of followers and their live streams and all of their talk. Brianna Joy Gray decided on the Bad Faith podcast that she would have two attorneys on and discuss criminal justice reform, and some of the issues revolving around the prison system and some of these topics. And she treated it as a cavalier sort of conversation that could have come up in any situation, right? She treated it as if it was just, it's Thursday, let's talk about something, and here's something. And that begs the question, and that's what fires me up about all of this. And that's what I hope my listeners, and I hope eventually other people hear, is that how is it possible that your particular career, your choice, and what you do is speaking out on current topics, trending things, whether it's politics, domestically or abroad, international politics, all these different things, human rights events, all these different things that are happening. You discuss them regularly. You look for content. You write notes. You do what I do. See what's trending, what's happening, what's relevant. Let's talk about these subjects. Let's try to get views. People are out there making money. Let's do a live stream. Let's talk about it. Let's get comments. You're picking topics. If for the last few weeks, since December, I believe it was 27th, since that video was released, if somehow it's taking you this long to get to the Robert Brooks story, then a couple of things are happening. One, you're either nowhere near as informed as you pretend to be when you do your shows, which I don't think that's the case. I think it's option two. You knew this is happening. You saw it take place, and yet you decided that it wasn't relevant enough or important enough for you to discuss or highlight or put on the forefront of your live streams or make an emergency. Everyone has emergency podcast. Night School. We're going to talk about the important things with Mark Lamont Hill, Brianna Joy Gray, Bad Faith, Candace Owens. Candace Owens, I almost expect not to discuss. But at the same point, going back to the fact that it's a human being that was beat, how the hell is it that she can talk about Meghan Markle's, the trailer for the new Meghan Markle show? She seems to be relevant and tapped into every single thing taking place in media, taking place in the country, taking place in the world. And she's got an opinion on everything. And as I've said time and time again, she's a highly intelligent black woman. Yet this woman has not said a single word about Robert Brooks. The idea that you could be someone that's outraged over every little thing and you could talk about everything. And I'm calling her out specifically in this moment because she was the one who called out LeBron James and used the same logic, right? The logic was LeBron James makes his voice heard for every little single thing, like everything. And he tweets about it and he makes a stance about it. He takes a stance and he, espouses his wisdom and his take on subjects that are relevant to people, especially our black people, right? And she called him out for the fact that he got suddenly silent when it came to the Diddy case. And that was her whole shtick, her entire thing for several videos, calling him out on X and on her podcast was, why so silent now? How could you not be speaking about this? Everyone's talking about it. How are you not talking about it? So I asked Candace Owens, it's not even a black thing, my sister. You don't have to raise the flag for your blackness. You don't have to prove to anyone that you're black or not black or trying to be black. You don't have to do anything. Stay white as you are inside, okay? But how is it that you're ignoring the case that 13 officers beat a man to death? How could you not? How does that not make your show? The same thing with Mark Lamont Hill. Same thing with all of you. I know I'm saying the same names, but I think it's because I keep seeing them. And one of the things that makes it so infuriating is that I respect these people in terms of their platform and what they've accomplished and the fact that they are leaders in a space. They do have the voice. So you kind of look at it like, wow, the people you would think who do have an audience, who do have that platform, who have the ability to raise concern, who have the ability to tackle this issue, they're doing nothing. So what are we doing? Leaving it up to people like me with 4,000 followers and barely any kind of interaction with people? I'm going to keep pushing on and I'm going to keep pushing their buttons and I'm going to attempt to get them to talk to me about this so they can explain, hey, brother, listen, we understand. Like, let's discuss why we haven't touched this. Is there something I don't know, something I'm not seeing? Maybe you could teach me something. Maybe I should be learning something. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's not as serious as I think it is. Maybe everyone's moved on. Maybe the days of being upset by, black people being mistreated in America or human beings being mistreated in America, it's okay. We're just over it. We're more concerned with the wildfires or more concerned with Kamala Harris and Biden and Trump and what's going on and whatever. Anyway, that's enough on the Robert Brooks case. The only thing I can tell you is that apparently the only update that's come through the last time I checked, which was right before I started this episode, is that 4 more of the officers have been suspended. Oh, well, thank God. Without pay. Oh, that's great to know. No charges, no arrest. These men are still out there. And it seems as if it's not really going to go anywhere. I just, again, I'm so baffled by this. So I ask my listeners, I ask my audience, forgive me if I seem to ramble about the Robert Brooks case or I seem to be not letting this go, but I'm sorry. Do you think I should let it go? Would you let it go? It shouldn't be let go. It shouldn't, and that's the point.